Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Carmina, and right now I'm doing a voiceover, and the reason is because after I downloaded this video I realized that 4 minutes of it have no sound and the rest of it has sound, so it must have been a Zoom thing. But anyway, we'll just get on like this for the first 4 minutes of the video and then we'll continue. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the Five of Clubs, which is one of the cards of the playing card deck. And before that, let me quickly remind you to give this video a thumbs up if you like technical difficulties and also subscribe to the channel. Okay, so one more thing, if you like the cards presented in the video, I will put a link below in the description box where you can purchase them if you want. Okay, so today the topic is the Five of Clubs. And first we're gonna be looking at some interpretations of the number 5, because we were talking about the 7 being a very religiously inclined number. Number 5 is also a very widespread number for occult traditions throughout the millennia. For instance, ancient Greeks, ancient Egyptians used to wear amulets in a pentagram shape. So, of course, 5 corners, 5 sides. These pentagram shaped amulets provided protection, so they had this role. And another thing is that one of the Pythagorean scholars, one of the greatest philosophers of their times, Proclus, said that number 5 resembles justice because it punishes wrong and takes away inequality of possession and also equalizes what is less to benefit. So remember this quote because we're gonna refer to it later. So we have two qualities of the number 5, one of protection, one of some sort of divine justice. Yeah, the number 5 keeps repeating a lot in the Bible. Jesus 5 times foretold his passion and gave 5 particulars concerning it and received 5 wounds. So it's also the number of sacrifice. And then the Brahmins speak of 5 skandhas or attributes of men. The Chinese speak of 5 blessings: longevity, riches, health, virtue, and a natural death. Also, the ancient Chinese speak of 5 elements: earth, wood, fire, metal, and water, and of 5 primary colors. In alchemy, the 5th element is the quintessence of the alchemist, and it was derivable from the 4. That's why the number 4 is also very occult. Saint Paul used to say that he would rather speak 5 words in his native language than 10,000 words in a foreign language. Number 5 is of course connected to the wise Brahmin that doesn't speak a lot, but when he speaks he says very valuable and heavy words, because that's one of the translations for the Sanskrit name of Jupiter, Guru, meaning heavy. And that corresponds to what Saint Paul said. As Proclus said, the number 5 is related to the judgment. Black 5s, of course, are related to the judgment card in tarot, and red 5s to the justice card. So we have this correlation as well. Jupiter, of course, is also related to the husband. Jupiter is also connected to liquid assets, to wealth, to abundance. But one of the things Jupiter is also connected to is change. And that change can trigger some sort of crisis, because it's like the side of us that casts a moral judgment on something and decides that, okay, it's time to change course of action. It's time to make improvements. And that's why it's considered more of a tense placement in the cards of truth. In the natal spread, the 5th placement is, what gets averted. But it's also our long-term vision. It's also our relationship with children. But it can be something that gets averted. But it gets averted for our own greater good. Because, of course, Jupiter has a wisdom to know long-term planning, long-term vision, as we were discussing also at the Five of Hearts. Jupiter is connected to the broader vision signs. It rules Pisces and it rules Sagittarius. So when we see a Five of Clubs, we can think of a change of mind, a change of plans, a change of inspiration, a change of ideas, a change of career, sometimes even a change of relocation. If other factors indicated, it can also be a good financial cards, as all the fives and the twos are. The five is, it can be a crisis if the person, because every change is accompanied by a crisis, an inner crisis that prompts that change. That's why, of course, it's an odd number, so it's more tense. So at the Five of Clubs, something gets averted, and there can be a crisis of ideas. But we can't get to the satisfaction at the Six before we experience the Five. And if we look at the underlying and overlying cards, the underlying card for the Five of Clubs is the Five of Hearts, which we talked about recently. It was the Justice card. So from Justice comes Judgment. And the overlying card, once this Judgment is mastered, then we can move on to the Four of Clubs, which is a security, a comfort with our inspiration. Now let us see the birthdays of the Five of Clubs. March 31st, April 29, May 27, June 25th, July 23rd, August 21st, September 19, October 17, November 15, and December 13, which is today. Okay, so I cast the chart for today's date. Please take more into consideration the cards and not so much the planets in them, because they will differ for everyone, because it's very time sensitive, this spread. But we are just going to have a nice overview of the Five of Clubs birth card. So this person who's a Five of Clubs birth card is born with an innate desire for judgment, of judging whether things are right or wrong, a moral judgment. Of course, that's going to be also influenced by the card where the ascendant for the person is in. For this hypothetical person that we raised the chart, it's in the Jack of Hearts, so that will also color their inner being. And of course, their soul planet, or the planet with the highest degrees, what card that is in, that's also going to be important. And any card with a great number of planets will be important. For the Five of Clubs, in general, the path is the King of Hearts. And the King of Hearts is a person, either, in their path is a very father figure person. Their life is very connected to a very fatherly and emotional authority kind of person. It can also be a guru, because the hearts, of course, are connected to devotion. Or it can be themselves, as being a person that sacrifices themselves for the love of other people in their lives. That is their path. It's not an easy path, a path of sacrifice. So becoming a sort of authority by sacrificing yourself. The Sun card, the kingdom they are building, their foundation, is a Three of Diamonds. So again, a moving card, changing their land, changing their skills, being technical about their skills. The Moon card is an Ace of Spades, so even from their childhood they were very deeply interested in finding the truth about things, the truth about life, and not the superficial truth, but the deeper occult truth. It can also show how they adapt to life. It's by getting at the bottom of things, finding the truth. It's how they adapt to life's changing situations. Then the Seven of Hearts on the Mars card is, the Mars card is how you deal with crisis situation, and they make sense of the emotional disappointment. It's very, they deal with crisis situations, with accidents, with unforeseen things, in a way that, okay, they make sense of the emotions that need to be let go of, and that's really nice. The Mercury card is a bit tense with that Seven of Diamonds there, so the person can be like a finisher in communication, in dealing with organizing things. It can have an ending connotation always, because of course the Seven of Diamonds is a semi-fixed card and interchanges with the Nine of Hearts, so it has this ending connotation, this definitive connotation. Then the Jupiter card, they have a Five of Spades, and the Five, of course, resonates very well with the Jupiterian energy. The Five of Spades is a difficult card. It can feel like you're unrooted from one place, or it can feel like you're going through a detox with your body, you're going through a rehab with your body. So it's a deep transformation on a physical level for the person. On the Venus card, it shows what they are fulfilled with. They are fulfilled with this energy of the Jack of Hearts, which is the lover, which goes from interest to other love interest and is preoccupied with starting, with pollinating, with starting new emotions that have long-term ramifications, because of course when flowers get pollinated by the bee that goes from flower to flower, then ultimately we have fruits. The Saturn card is a pretty tricky card for the Five of Clubs because it's the Nine of Clubs. It's a very solitary card, so they are kind of in service of being in solitude with their work, with their inspiration, working alone, and it can be pretty painful if they don't let go of the Seven of Clubs and they realize some ideas need to go. Their South Node card shows past life patterns, and that is for them connecting to new emotions, connecting to feelings, connecting with something in an emotional manner. But that's something they're very skilled at, but it's something of the past, so they need to develop their Nine of Spades. They need to develop their work ethics. They need to master their own body because it's the last of the single digit club, so they need to have this divine friendship with their body. And then the Uranus card is what makes them unique, what they can contribute to in the world, to the collective, because of course Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are more generational planets, and for them they need to be the king of diamonds, a person who's very high level financially and of course also very charitable. When they feel validated emotionally by the world, at the Six of Hearts on the Neptune card, they also can bond deeper to the world. They have this Four of Clubs, which is also their overlying card, so it's pretty painful because the Pluto card is okay, you get that when you get that inspiration, when you get that stability, when you get that home that you're inspired with at the Four of Clubs, you also get some bashing of expectations with it. So that is not an easy thing for the Five of Clubs. Also, if you look at their spread, they're the first 7 cards, which are important. We see pretty emotional people with that 7 of Hearts in the Mars card, with that Jack of Hearts in the Venus card, with that Path of a Heart, with that South Node of the Heart. They have pretty much all the elements. They only have one club in the Saturn card and one other club in the Pluto card. So they'll be more preoccupied with emotional affairs, emotional things, dealing with their emotion, handling their own emotions, and sacrificing their selfish emotions for a bigger purpose. That's about it for today. I'm gonna let you go now and let me know if you have any Five of Clubs. And you can meditate on this Five of Clubs. You can find additional meanings, but think of the keywords as which are crisis, change, improvement, change of mind, change of ideas. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, see you soon. Bye.